What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about weird things that only British people do. Part 2. If you have not seen Part 1, feel free to check that out. We learned about carpets in the bathroom, how tea can cure any situation just by having some tea. Call in the caterpillar cake. And pigs in a blanket and some other cool stuff. I'm really enjoying this list. This is 20 weird things only British people do. And here in part 2, I'm finally going to get to see the final 10 things. I don't know what to expect at this point. I thought maybe I would have heard of some of these things, but in part 1, I had barely heard of any of this weird stuff. This weird British stuff. British people, you're weird, but that's good. Being weird is actually good. It makes life interesting, which is why I'm actually quite enjoying this list. And I'm ready. I'm ready to figure out 10 more weird things. So let's see.
Number 11, one of our most popular TV shows is a TV show of people watching TV shows. It's called Gogglebox. I imagine this.
Hold on. Wait a minute. This is too meta. This is too metaphysical. One of the most popular British TV shows is a TV show of people watching TV shows, not at all too dissimilar to what's happening right now, in this video right now, of you watching me watching her. So, I really can't complain about this. Actually, this is the greatest thing I've ever heard of.
This concept has arrived in other countries now. They basically film families watching the TV highlights, and then they compile their witty remarks, and then we watch them. It's a very good program. It's very meta.
It's meta. Oh, I can't take it. It's too meta. She's saying meta. I'm using the word meta. She's talking about reacting to TV. I'm reacting to her, talking about reacting to something. Okay, it's too much.
Number 12, dog poo in Facebook groups. Okay, in the UK, and I imagine in lots of places in the world, we have Facebook groups for our local community. So I'm in quite a few of the surrounding villages and towns.
Okay. I'm not personally part of any of these Facebook groups, but I get the idea. Are people complaining about the dog poo? Are they posting the dog poo pictures? Are they bragging?
And there is a new phenomenon, and it is the people that are getting so frustrated with people not picking up their dog poo, especially if it's on someone's property or on their front lawn. People are taking pictures of the dog poo and posting it in these community groups.
Oh, taking pictures of other people's dog poo. Kind of like if I have to look at it, you all have to look at it, but then you're sort of punishing everyone instead of the perpetrator, the poopatrator, if you will.
I don't know about you, but I normally check my phone for the first time in the morning when I'm about to take my first bite of breakfast, normally porridge. And to have porridge approaching my mouth, opening my phone and seeing a massive dog poo is just not ideal.
Is this, I gotta say, is this like super common? Is this a British phenomenon? I'm not in these neighborhood, little neighborhood Facebook groups, but I could absolutely see this sort of thing happening in the United States as well. But I will certainly take her word for it if this is sort of prevalent, an epidemic in British Facebook society. Okay.
So now people are rebelling against the dog poo posters, and there's just huge civil unrest online at the moment. Okay. Those who want to shame the dog poo leavers and those who want to shame the dog poo posters. It's very complex.
Right. At this point, who do you... since we're talking about it, since we're really dissecting the situation, do you get mad at the people who did it in the first place, the poopers? Or do you get mad at the pooper reposters? Or the people who are mad at the pooper reposter poopers?
I hate dog poo. It's absolutely horrendous, but I also don't want to see it all over my Facebook timeline. Yeah. I've seen enough. We know it's a problem.
Yeah.
Number 13, drinking in rounds, okay? When we go on a night out with a group of friends, we drink in rounds, which means if there are 5 of us, Instead of everyone buying their individual drinks, one person will buy 5 drinks, then the next person will buy 5 drinks. I'm sure many of you are aware of this concept. I'm sure it has a different name where you're from.
Yes, I am aware of this concept, actually. You know, in America, it just seems like either everyone pays for their own drinks or maybe someone will buy like a pitcher, like a big old container or one of those giant tubes filled with beer. If you're feeling really crazy, someone might buy a pitcher, but I don't really think Americans use the phrase round. Although I hear that in movies all the time. All the time. First round's on me. Next round's on me. And everyone cheers. Yeah. I've heard that before for sure. I kind of want that to happen in real life. That sounds fun.
But the very British thing to do is to shout, "Whose round is it?" when you know exactly whose round it is. And you just are trying to make them actually buy their round, because there are a lot of people who will participate in rounds, wait till last and hope that they won't actually have to buy that round, thus escaping with a lot of free drinks and a very full wallet, and it's very annoying.
Okay. See, this is the nitty-gritty little petty details that I like to get into. Since we don't have the whole round culture in America, I could absolutely see this happening. That's funny.
Now, we can be considered quite passive-aggressive. So instead of saying, "It's your round, go and buy your round," just shouting, "Whose round is it?"
Right.
is a much easier way to avoid confrontation.
Right.
However, my fiancé, he said at university there was one guy who was so bad at buying or paying for his fair share of drinks that they actually grabbed him, marched him to an ATM, a bank, took his card out and forced him to take out the money.
Oh, that's more extreme than I thought she was going to say. I thought they were going to be like, "Whose round is it, Gerald?" And everyone just stares right at him, kind of shame him into getting his round for once. No, or you can just drag him to the bank and mug him and and buy the round. That works.
Some people are just what we would call here tight. If somebody's tight, they don't like spending a lot of money.
Okay.
Number 14 is we can't always be bothered to use an umbrella. It rains so often that unless it is absolutely pummeling it down, I don't mind getting a bit wet.
Gosh, this is an interesting one. It really rains a lot? Like in Britain in general? It does not rain that much in a lot of parts of America, thankfully. A lot of times people don't use an umbrella just because we don't carry an umbrella in the car or with us. It just stays at home like 99% of the time. And then when we finally need it, we don't have it. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, even the littlest rain kind of scares us Americans.
I remember when I was in Spain, the minute the first drop hit anyone's hair, they would whip out their umbrella. Everyone had it. Everyone knew the weather. I just never knew how people kept track of whether it was going to rain that day or not, but it was more of a rare occasion there, and it's very, very common here. So I did used to walk into my classrooms soaking wet sometimes, just, you know, normal.
Okay.
Number 15. We don't put fridges in the eggs. Wrong. Number 15. We don't always put our eggs in the fridge.
Oh, I was like, what? What was... I didn't even understand the joke. I was like, what? I think I actually heard her correctly. I just didn't... I thought I was going crazy. We don't put fridges in the eggs. We put eggs in the fridges. Okay.
Wrong. Number 15. We don't always put our eggs in the fridge. I don't know if this is weird for you. I remember going abroad and seeing fridges in the eggs. Fridges in the eggs. I remember going abroad and seeing eggs.
She accidentally said it. Because, yeah, this is weird. This is weird, but when I think about it, do eggs need to be refrigerated? Apparently not. My question's been answered. Gosh, why do we refrigerate them? Yeah, it would be weird if I saw eggs just sitting out. That'd be very weird.
Eggs in the fridges. I remember some fridges arriving with egg holders. I thought that was so weird.
Yeah.
Oh, I like a nice room temperature egg. Oh, yes. Why does that sound like an innuendo?
Room temperature egg. I'm going to Google this. I have to. Do you need to refrigerate eggs. Google knows exactly what I'm saying. In the United States, fresh, commercially produced eggs need to be refrigerated to minimize your risk of food poisoning. What is this, just United States egg propaganda? Because I am being told this is not necessary. However, in many countries in Europe and around the world, it is fine to keep eggs at room temperature for weeks. What? It's just America. What are we doing to our eggs? What are we doing to them? That we need to refrigerate them. What are we putting in the eggs? The poor eggs. What? I never knew about this. Never keep eggs unrefrigerated for more than 2 hours? How our eggs are different? I know eggs are different colors in other places. Ours are white. Gosh, who knows what else is going on in those eggs? We gotta we gotta freeze them, or we die of food poisoning. Huh? Makes you think.
16. This one goes without saying. We are obsessed with the weather. Even if it's so boring, it's slightly grey and windy today. We will tell you that. It's a bit grey and windy, isn't it?
Okay.
It does change so much that it is quite, entertaining. Sometimes we don't have that much in our lives to talk about. So the weather is just a really good one to go for.
Okay. I don't know if it's to the extent as Britain, but Americans will do that as well. This is a very innocent one. Talking about the weather, small talk. Okay, I can relate.
Number 17, scone or scone. Okay, this is the conundrum. And actually there's a part 2 to this conundrum as well. There is a baked good, which I call a scone, but other people call it a scone. And there's a big fight, a big divide in the UK.
Oh, this is diving into the weeds of something that an American would never even think of. I would never even think this was a hot debate. I've heard of scones. Scones, by the way. Scone. I've heard of a scone. They're not terribly common in America. They exist in bakeries, I guess. Yeah, it's like a tube with filling on each side, and yeah, I've never thought about it enough to even think you could pronounce it differently.
About whether it is a scone or a scone. I don't want to get involved in that. I'm not going to say scone is wrong, but I do prefer scone. Scone! Damn it! The other part of this conundrum is the order in which you put toppings. Typically, we serve scones or scones with jam and clotted cream. They are absolutely to die for. If you come to the UK, make sure you have an afternoon tea with scones or scones.
What? You can put jam on it? Hold on. Back to Google. Scone. Scone. Oops. Scone. Jam? Oh, look. It says jam or cream first. Oh, I saw that in the autofill part. Like, this is actually a debate. Wait. This is a scone? What was I thinking of? I was thinking of a cannoli. What am I talking about? Cannoli. I was thinking of a cannoli, wasn't I? Yeah, okay. I'm not out of my mind. I kind of am, actually, for getting these confused. This is what I was thinking of in my mind. A cannoli. I was thinking of that old baking show that I used to watch. Scone. Oh, I'm glad I Googled this. Goodness. So this, what is this? Let me make this bigger. What the heck is this thing? Looks like a McDonald's McGriddle. How many people did I just offend by making this comparison? So there's cream something? Cream cheese and jam? Now that I know what we're talking about, let me hear it again. I have a whole new frame of reference. My opinion my world has been flipped upside down.
If you come to the UK, make sure you have an afternoon tea with scones or scones. Now, I always put clotted cream first, then jam, but...
Clotted cream? This stuff is so fancy sounding. What is clotted cream?
Some people...
Well, it's that stuff, right? In the picture? Whatever this... Whoop, not the cannoli. Get out of here, cannoli. Let me X that out. This. Clotted cream. Huh.
People will swear you have to put the jam first, then the clotted cream.
What?
I'm not going to tell you which is right. You're just going to have to try it out for yourself. But I think logistically, cream first, then jam.
Okay, now that I know what we're talking about, this matters. People care? Does it change the taste? Does it change the consistency? Why does it matter? Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Number 18. We are terrible at ending conversations. Honestly, this is the most annoying thing ever. There is a huge culprit of this, and it is my fiancé Will. Typically, when we want to end a conversation, we will say, right, and kind of, I need to be heading off, or I must get a move on, or I need to get going.
This is funny. Yeah, I mean, everyone's kind of experienced this at some point. I like to make a joke out of this. This is like ending a conversation or trying to leave. Trying to like say, okay, I think everything's done and we can go now. Trying to like organically make that happen. I think I saw this in a comedy once. And ever since, I just make a joke out of this as my solution, where I'll just be like, okay, well, I guess everything's kind of winding down now. Everything's winding down. And, okay, I guess we'll see you later, you know? Just like, make it totally kind of over the top.
I need to be heading off, or I must get a move on, or I need to get going. But for some reason, some people really struggle with this. And when you have two people that struggle with ending conversations coming together, well, you could just go on for eternity. It's really, really troubling.
Right.
Right. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Come and say hello. Admit to your problem. This is Will.
Oh my gosh, he's huge. He's gigantic. Or is she tiny? Or is he 7 feet tall? Anyway, this is her fiance who has trouble ending conversations. Right.
Don't worry about his face. You know your problem. You're almost perfect.
Was it ending conversations?
It was ending conversations.
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
It's fine if you're talking to someone who can end the conversation, but it's when you are with another person that also finds ending conversations difficult.
Well, it's nice to get out, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
lockdown
a tough
problem.
year for everyone. Leave to it.
All right, I'm almost done.
Cool.
Number 19,
Okay.
we really overuse the word sorry. This was further solidified in my mind last night. We watched Bridget Jones, and there was the scene where Mark Darcy or Colin Firth and Hugh Grant were fighting, and they were knocking over things on people's tables in a restaurant, and they were still apologising. We just can't help it. I find myself apologising for apologising too much. Number 20.
Well, that's like a super common association Americans have with Canada and Canadians, saying sorry. I don't think I realized that was so common for British people as well. But yeah, I'm sure. Like in the context of like, maybe you didn't hear them and you'll be like, sorry. Or even if you're just like, bump into someone, or if they bump into you and you're like, sorry, even though you're not the one who did it.
Final weird thing that British people do is consume a lot of pre-made sandwiches.
What?
Bit of a random one.
It is
But
random.
there is something very exciting about going on a short car journey and stopping off for lunch. And lunch.
Okay, see, here's the thing. You find a lot of this kind of stuff at gas stations in America, and it has a very, very negative association to get like a pre-made sandwich in a gas station. If you went to a grocery store and got a pre-made sandwich, that would be fine. Not something I do myself. And I certainly didn't know this was popular in Britain. Pre-made sandwiches. I mean, it does sound convenient.
Lunch will be a pre-made sandwich in a box. You can get them from petrol stations or you can get them from supermarkets. I know Tesco does something called a meal deal, where for a certain amount of money you get a sandwich, a snack and a drink, and people absolutely love it and they try to get the most value from that meal deal.
Okay. Even she said it, like a petrol station, a gas station. That has a negative connotation in America. You do not get the sandwich from the petrol station.
They say you can tell a lot about a person from what they choose for their meal deal.
Oh.
But, I've travelled to a couple of countries and I've never seen the sheer amount of options for pre-made sandwiches that we have in the UK. It's crazy. Every flavour, every filling, so creative as well.
This is random. She said it. It's random. Yeah, this is not a thing in America. Like, I would never have said, oh yeah, America. I think about lots of options for pre-made sandwiches. That is oddly specific. It's kind of a cool, like, interesting cultural thing to, to have to do with Britain. Like, I didn't know that. Okay.
Well, prawn is my favourite. Prawn mayonnaise. Absolutely love it. The Christmas range is in full swing at the moment. We have turkey and stuffing sandwiches.
Oh, what?
Awesome. I saw a duck l'orange sandwich the other day. I wouldn't say it's something I recommend. Actually, if you want to have a British experience when you come over to the UK, go to a petrol station, buy a sandwich, then you will feel like a Brit.
I don't know. Some of these flavors sounded kind of scary. This is like, wow, this goes so much deeper than I ever thought. Okay. From the petrol station, too. Wow. That would make me extra nervous.
Right. On that note, that's the end of today's lesson. I have got the full transcript of this video with important vocabulary on my new website, englishwithlucy.co.uk. I'll link it down below. Don't forget to check out the interactive phonemic chart. Very, very excited about that.
Okay.
I can't wait.
Okay. Well, now she's just talking about her website, so I guess that's it. That is it. Very good. This was by English with Lucy. I liked this. I really did like this. Wow. Sometimes you just don't know what you're going to get with random list sort of YouTube videos like this, but this was great. These were so random. Like, out of nowhere. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Some of them a little disturbing to me. Most, but I enjoy those too. Maybe just the sandwiches. But most part, this was just interesting. Interesting to see the weird little differences between America and Britain. Because I feel like we're alike in so many ways. And then in just the most strange, random thing, like caterpillar birthday cakes. Like, what? That is something I would never have ever known. Unless I watch some random British YouTube video, which is exactly why I enjoy this so much. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Britain, British culture stuff, British stuff that I have never seen, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.